Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be jumping into gearing, talking about how best to gear your characters. It could be anybody. We're going to use Kayle as an example since he was the starter champion that I chose. There's a lot to discuss as far as gearing goes, so let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. So if you haven't downloaded the game yet, use my QR code over there or the link in the description below. By doing that, you support the channel, so thank you very much for that. You also will get 2 free epic champions. You'll get Tagore as soon as you log into the game and get through that intro, and then at level 15, you'll unlock Ugo. Both great support characters. You also get some resources that'll help you jumpstart your account as well, so definitely do that. And again, thanks for the support. Let's talk about gearing. When we talk about gearing, it's all about what's going to best support the character. So let's go ahead. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and talk about Kayle first. Then at the end of the video, I'm going to do a few summons, see if we can get anybody good. But let me go into my champions here. Now, one thing this game has that I mentioned in a previous video, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll link it up over here just with some tips and tricks for you. One thing I love about this game is that they give you ratings, and these are player ratings and suggestions, right? So, like, I can go to Kayle here, I can go to my reviews, over 180,000 reviews, and I get a rating on how well this character will do, or at least what players feel how good this character is in the different game modes that we have in this game. So this is a great start. One thing, if you haven't noticed yet, you have recommended artifacts. This is what we're going to talk about right now. Right now in the game, they recommend offense and crit rate. So we're going to talk about that. That's a great starting point. So any character you have, let's go over to Rector Drath right here. Ratings, great ratings across the board. I love Rector Drath, great healer. Recommended artifact, speed and life set. So we're going to talk about these two characters and their gearing. Let's go back to Kayle. Like I said, starter character here. When we talk about his gear and his artifacts, it's all about offense and crit rate. When we take a look at his kit, every single time you gear your character up, you want to start base with what the kit says that the character is going to do, right? So if I take a look at this attack here, attacks one enemy, has 80% chance of placing a 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns. In this game, one thing I mentioned in that video as well, in turn-based RPG games, even idle combat games, speed and accuracy are king, always have, always will be. Accuracy helps you land debuffs, so you definitely want accuracy here because we have a debuff, which is that poison, which is one of the reasons that makes this character so good. It is based off his attack. So that offense kit, if we just take a look over here, take a look at this. Let's see, I don't have offense on him right now, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But if we take a look at offense, it's attack plus 15%. So just taking a look at his kit, you want to make sure to improve his attack so you can do more damage. You want to improve his accuracy so you can land those poisons. Let's take a look at this ability right here. Attacks all enemies. Nice AoE damage here. Has an extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Fill the turn meter if this champion by 25% for each enemy killed. This is just great. Again, damage based on attacks. So we want to focus on that as well. This is why the offense kit is recommended. With all the different types of sets that we have, artifact sets that we have, you have quite a few options here. And then let's take a look at this ability right here. Attacks 4 times at random, has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Again, accuracy is going to be key here. Again, based on attack. So we want attack, we want speed, and we want accuracy. Now, I don't have the best setup yet. I'm still gearing up for it. As you know, I'm just now digging into this game. I'm loving my time in the game. I'm having a great time. I love the strategy involved and the plethora of game modes. So having the experience that I have going into this game, I know kind of how we should be gearing this up, but it's always good to have resources to look at, right? So that's why these in-game resources I think are great. So let's see what I have right now, right? Right now I've got, just click right here. I've got these sets here. So I've got Perception. Perception is good because I get accuracy and speed. This is a great set, especially for characters that have debuffs because you have that accuracy. So I think it's great for Kayle. Critical rate goes up. I like having a crit rate up there just so I can do some additional damage. So that's what I have here. And then I have Cruel. Now this Cruel, reason why I have this is because it buffs up attack just like my offense set does, but it ignores 5% of the enemy's defense. I think that's key. Anytime you can do more damage to your enemy, the better, because you're going to take that team out just that much quicker, right? So these are the 3 sets that I currently have on them. When you take a look at the suggested sets, again, this is where I recommend you start. These are 2-piece sets, and you've got 6 pieces here. Now, when we take a look at the accessories here, the only one that I have right now is I have this ring. Nothing really spectacular. I've got attack on it. I've got HP percent. Anytime you have an opportunity to get percent versus flat stat is good. See, I've just got 11 for flat stat, but 3% attack here. Those flat stats are always good in the beginning of a game, but once you really start maturing your roster, the percentage outweighs the flat stats hands down, just because as you continue to build up and get into the higher numbers of attack and HP and things like that, that percent is going to yield you much more stat improvement there. So nothing fantastic as far as the ring, though. However, one thing I would suggest on is when you take a look at your boots, go for speed boots. I've got speed on this one. I want more speed here, but we definitely want to make sure that we have speed on our boots. And I don't think I have. There we go, right there. This is what I'm looking at. Not really, you don't want this common set, but you want speed as the main stat. So keep looking for that specific stat on that boot, because that's the only gear, only artifact that I'm aware of that you can have speed as a main stat. Now, similarly, as far as banners go, when we take a look at accessories, my understanding is the main stat here, accuracy. Banner is the only accessory and artifact that you can get that has a main stat for accuracy. So those are a couple things you want to shoot for. Speed on your boots, accuracy on your banner, and then make sure you have the stats you need to buff or to support your hero's kit. And just a quick reminder as we talk about gearing up these heroes, if you haven't downloaded the game yet, use my QR code up here or the link in the description below. By doing that, you help support the channel, so thank you very much for that. By doing that, you also get 2 free epic characters. You'll get Tagore at the beginning of the game. You'll also get Ugo once you hit level 15. Both great support characters. And then also you'll get some resources, some much needed resources, because we all know that you can never have too many resources in this game. So you get those as well if you do use the link or the QR code. Thank you again for that. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and get back into this. So let's take a look at Rector Drath. Now, if you have Rector Drath, I'm sure you know how good this guy is. Let's go ahead and take a look at her kit. All right. Right now, recommended artifacts, speed and life. I don't have any disagreement with this. I don't know that I would change this much, and I didn't. So when I take a look at what I have currently, I did double her up on 2 life sets. And the reason for that is because when we take a look at the kit, again, attacks an enemy has 35% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. This is where that banner and the accuracy is going to be, because Rector Drath has a debuff, which is great. Accuracy is going to increase the chance that you're going to land that debuff. Damage is based on attack. I don't care too much about damage when it comes to support or healers, right? But we do want to get that decreased attack, which I think is great. When we talk about the heal that this character does, heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. That's where the life set comes into play. After healing, places a perfect veil for buff for 2 turns on all allies with full HP, placed a 50% continuous heal. Great stuff here. Max HP, again, that's where that life piece comes into play. This one here revives a single ally with 60% HP and fills their turn meter by 60%. This really isn't dependent on any stat, but it's a good ability to have. And then the passive here, whenever an ally under a veil or perfect veil buff gets a turn, heals them for 10% of, again, this of their max HP. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Also increases resistance of allies under veil or perfect veil buffs by 50. So let's go back to the kit here and what I did here with the life. I do need to improve the quality of the sets that I have here, just to improve the stats overall. And then I have the speed set as well. When I take a look at my boots, what do I got? I've got accuracy here, but I don't have a banner and I don't have speed up here as a main stat. So I'll continue to work on that to improve the gear that I have on this character. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to go over when it comes to gearing. It's all based on the kit. Let's just take a look. I got this brand new legendary here. Man, she looks so cool. I mean, the artwork, she's like underwater here. I mean, she looks freaking amazing. I love it. So I got her. I took a look at the reviews. She's pretty good overall. Rated probably the highest here in offense, arena offense, and faction wars, arena defense. So overall, does pretty well. Recommended artifacts for her is speed and life as well. So let's take a look at her kit and why that might be. So this here, attacks an enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a 30% speed decrease. That is awesome. This is where accuracy is going to come into play. So again, accuracy on that banner, accuracy substats works as well. This skill here has a 75% chance of stealing all buffs from a target enemy, which is pretty cool. Also has a 75% chance of placing True Fear debuff on all enemies. Accuracy is something that I really, really want to focus on for this character right here. All right, this one here has 75% chance of decreasing the turn meters of all enemies by 20%. Fills the turn meters of all allies by 20% and places 30% increased speed. You got speed decrease, you got speed increase. Freaking phenomenal character. She is rated, again, very well in arena, so I'm very excited to get her geared up and ready for that. And then this ability here, at the start of each turn, places 110% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns on an enemy with the lowest HP. So when we take a look at the kit, I don't have anything. I haven't geared her out just yet. But when we take a look at what I want to gear her up with, right? I want to gear her up with accuracy and speed. So I think the perception set is going to be really good. So if I go down here, I think you saw perception when I was going through one of the other characters here. Sorry if this is making you a little dizzy. Where is it? Where's perception? There we go. Accuracy and speed is a 2-piece set. So I'll just throw those 2 on there right now. Boom. There we go. What do we have for rings on this one? We've got, let's see, critical damage. We've got attack and accuracy here, so I want that, but I don't have this unlocked just yet. And as far as the rings go, attack and HP, defense and HP, I'll probably just equip that for now. Definitely got to do some more gearing. And then when you start taking a look at masteries, this is when you really start digging into substats and ability upgrades and things like that. So excited to dig into this, just not ready for that just yet. And finally, one last reminder, if you don't have the game downloaded yet, use my QR code up there or the link down below. You're going to get 2 free epic characters to Gore when you get into the game, and Ugo once you get up to level 15. 2 great support characters, and then obviously some resources that are going to help jumpstart your account. If you use those, if you use the link below or the QR code, it definitely helps support the channel, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. All right, everybody, that is what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.